morning everybody, welcome back to my allotment diaries. My name is Emma, these are my allotment diaries. I would love for you to subscribe to my YouTube channel if you are new. I've had an influx of subscribers recently, so I'll super quickly, was that a spider? I'll super quickly wrap up who I am, what I'm all about. So my name is Emma, this is my 4th year on my allotment plot. I can't believe I'm actually saying that. My plot is based in South London. It's 135 square metres, which is a pretty standard size for a London allotment plot. Obviously we're oversubscribed, overpacked, and everybody wants one, so they tend to split the plots up into smaller plots. This is quite a good size for this plot actually, for this allotment site. I don't pretend to know anything about growing. I've got a little bit better over the years. I think I can sort of get away with giving out a little bit of advice every now and again, but I'm definitely not an expert. I just like to show you it as it is, show the real honest side of an allotment plot. A lot of people I think get a plot and don't quite realise the work that goes into it, or kind of think you have to do it a certain way and that's the only way you can do it. I like to kind of break those barriers and those stereotypes and be like, hey, I'm younger, I'm a woman, I'm here on my plot, I don't have gardening experience, and this is the way that I do it. And hopefully when stuff grows, it's like, oh yeah, okay, that's great, you know, you can do it how you want. And then when things don't work, we're just like, just don't talk about that bit, you know, just don't talk about it. So that's a little bit about me. Why am I here today? I know, I can hear you, I know. I think you can see my breath. It is very cold today, but I just like to come down here like as much as I can. So here we are in the freezing cold and the mist. Let's start off with a little allotment beginning of the month tour. I haven't done a proper overview of my allotment plot this month. It's the month of February. I like looking back at these. So let me just show you around my allotment plot. Here is my lovely pink shed. I painted this in the colour, I think this is actually the tin that I use, that I now use to grow stuff in. I know that's the white daisy. That's the inside of my shed, is a white daisy. And the outside is sweet pea, I think. So that is my beloved pink shed. And then just on the side of it here, I've made this strawberry planter out of an old pallet. Oh yeah, my roof broke a while ago and I've just staple gunned some ground sheet on there, which is now falling off. So this is my strawberry planter. My strawberries used to be in this bed here, but I've taken them out because it just got so overgrown all the time and all the slugs got to the strawberries. So I'm trying it in a planter this year. So far, they're all still alive. So there's just some little bags here. I think I've got a video on that actually that you can find, all about how I made it. And then we've got the raised beds. So here we go. I've got some tulips coming up in this one, which are coming up very early this year thanks to the mild beginning of the year that we had. Very frozen, but they seem to be doing all right. I've just mulched over where my sprouts were. Something else will go here this year, haven't decided yet, to be decided. And then I've got my pumpkin arch, which I've moved to here this year. Hopefully trying some new soil, see if that works a bit better. Got a few spring bulbs coming up. I think I planted some tulips in here too. Yeah, there they are, coming up, tulips, and then there's some daffodils. That's my newer raised bed that I made. That's the newest bed, the newest edition. Everything grows really well in that because it's new and like I've done it right basically. Then as we come down here we have just lots more. I've taken the sides off of this raised bed because the slugs and snails were just basically eating it. So I've just left that on there so I can sort of get a bit of a boundary and know where it begins, where it ends. And then I've got my broad beans. Broad beans had a bit of a disaster actually, guys. Look at this. Yeah, I think this is either a cat that's come and dug here and just pulled it off, or I think it's a pigeon. And a pigeon is not what I want to hear. That's concerning. So he's the only one, he's the only victim so far. He might grow back. He might grow back, I say, looking at that. That is not going to grow back, is it? It's a good thing I did come today because I think I do need to do a bit of pigeon protection here today actually, and put a little bit of wire over the top or something. Right, moving on with the tour. Got this great big bed here. It's one of my favourite beds just because it's so big and it's just so well made and put together. Nothing to do with me. I actually brought this one from a shop, so this is not my handiwork. This is the people who sold it. Got lots of tulips coming up here. This is going to be my courgette and something bed. Anyway, moving on. And then we've got this structure here which has got netting across the middle of it. I'm not sure if you can see that, all netting. This is going to be where my peas go. I think it's quite good structure. It stayed standing all winter. Excellent, like that. This is my flower bed, got dahlias and things in there. And then we've got the polytunnel at the back for tomatoes and stuff. This is my composting area. It's kind of my experimentation area. See it as like my lab, basically. If I was a scientist, that would be my lab. Don't really know what that meant, but you take from that what you will. And then just over here is my wildlife area, which I have worked really hard on restoring this year. It got a bit overgrown last year, so this year I've worked really hard at kind of bringing it back to life. So I've redone all the pond, I put new stones around it, and then I've got some shrubs planted around the edge, which should give quite a good hideout for little creatures. And then I've planted loads of bulbs in, so you can see here, I think we've got some daffodils coming up. Just across there, those are some irises coming up. And then I think I did plant some tulips somewhere, but who knows. So there is a little overview of my entire allotment plot. So you can kind of get an idea of the size of it and, you know, how I can grow here. There you go, hope that was helpful to any of you noobs here, any of the newbies who just wanted to see what I've got to work with. Quite a good bit of space, I think you'll agree, and I have been mulching everything, so fingers crossed I should have quite a good growing year. I feel confident saying that actually this year. Right, first thing we're going to do is protect those broad beans from the blooming pigeons. Right, scrap that. I didn't bring my staple gun. I don't know where my staple gun's gone, and I can't find my scissors, so we do need to find the scissors. Scissors are always just hanging around somewhere. Just having a nice time. I'm caught in a net now. I'm literally caught in a net. The net is following me out. Right, where's the bleeding scissors gone? Found the scissors. Okay, it's part one of the plan complete. Found the scissors. I had a little look at the wire that I use, which would be easier just to stick across the top. But unfortunately, I think the holes are too big and the birds will just peck the stuff through it. They won't care about that. I'm using a net where the holes are a little bit smaller. I just think this might deter them a bit more. So what we're going to do is we're going to stake it in. This is like the biggest net in the world though. Like no one needs this much net unless you're trying to catch like a bear or something. It's like a bear net. A lot of stuff in gardening is quite fiddly. This is the stuff I don't really enjoy. Right, I've got to measure it. Measure across like fiddly. So fiddly to cut it. I thought this would be easy. Whenever I think something's easy, that's when it's not. I should really learn my lesson with that now. I think, oh, this will be easy, I'll just cut it. It's like, no, 4 hours later, I'm sawing my way through a net. Proper woken up on the wrong side of the bed this morning. It's not the day to be dealing with a net. This is exactly the kind of job that I couldn't be bothered to do like a year ago. So about a year ago, I wouldn't have bothered doing this job. I'd have been like, this is so pernickety, this is such a waste of time. No, I'm going to do something else. And then all my crops would die, and it's just like just doing a little job like this, putting the effort in. You can save yourself heartbreak because you just end up saving all your crops. With the nets, we'll raise it up a bit so the birds can't get to the stuff. We'll just put these little poles in like this. I think it might protect against like cats and foxes as well, because they won't know how to dig there. Except Rocky will, because he's a beast. Right. So it's difficult to show you, but basically we've got these little sticks in now. Pulled the net really tight and pushed it up the stick so that it's above it. Now if it was on the level of them, the birds would just sit there. I've just created a hanging seating area for feeding time, but because it's like above it, they won't be able to get through, and it's quite tight as well. I think that's quite well protected now. Luckily we only lost one. So we only have one casualty, which is really good going. So I've still got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Still got 8 plants. So I'm definitely seeing that as a real positive, because normally when something comes along and gets my crop, it normally gets all of them, it wipes them out, and I haven't got like a chance of saving any. So when they came and got my pumpkins, they went for all of them. This time they've just gone for one, so it's just one bird, and it's just giving me that kick up the backside to actually go and protect it all. So hopefully that's going to be all right now. Hopefully I've saved my broad beans, but time will tell, guys, time will tell. Oh, it's just a constant battle here, isn't it? Everything's hungry. I wanted to talk sweet peas today. February is a great time to start your sweet pea seeds, and I'm going to go home today and literally start mine. I'm going to start them by soaking my seeds overnight and waiting for them to sprout, and then planting them into pots. I'm going to do them in February, and I'm going to plant them out at the end of March. We used to think that they were warm loving crops and that you could only really plant them when the weather got really warm, but it has been discovered since, through trial and error of people just planting them whenever the hell they want, that they can actually tolerate a bit of frost. So they are quite, they're like, I think what we call part hardy or semi hardy. Stop it. Yeah, a little bit semi hardy, so they can't tolerate like a really harsh frost, but just a little bit of a light frosting they can. So I want to build a sweet pea teepee at my allotment plot this year, and I'm going to put it in the bed where the courgettes are going to go, because the courgettes will be going out much later. I think the sweet peas, I can just yank them up and pull them out before the courgettes go out. I think it's just a win-win. So I'm going to make a sweet pea teepee. It's a very long-winded way of saying that. We're going to make, I need to clean my shed, I'm going to kill myself in here. Right, so we're going to build a sweet pea teepee. Now it's all in the balancing, so the best advice I can give you. It's not really anything at all. Right. Tie 2 together like that to get you started, and you sort of incorporate him and say, come on mate, you can come in too. Right, and then tie that and then sort of thread him around, in and out, so that he feels part of the party, right? Can you see any of that? God's sake, my filming today. Right, and then what you can do is just hold that, leave that there like that, and add to it however many poles you wish. I actually think 3 might be alright, but at the same time I'm going to add some more, just because I think it looks cool when you add more. If it looks cool, we'll do it, you know? If it looks crap, we won't. Everybody can join the party. In you come. When sweet peas first start to climb, so what I'll do is I'll plant... What is that? Is that a mug handle? Why is that in this bed? Did the fox bring that? So what I'll do is I'll plant them around the wooden bits, so like there. But I'll also plant some in the middle. So we need a bit of support for them to cling on to. So it's good to start this early, because trust me, when you start planting stuff out, the last thing you want to do is start tying string everywhere. It's really annoying. So what we do is we just wrap it around like that, creating a bit of a spider's web. Now what I've learned is, if you keep it one continuous piece of string, if it loosens, you can just pull on it and the whole thing tightens. You can just go around pulling them until they all tighten. But if you do lots of different bits of string, you're sort of going around having to tighten each individual bit all the time, which is quite annoying. If you do this at your allotment plot now, everyone who walks past it will think you know exactly what you're doing. So that is definitely a win. I'll just keep going, we'll just keep going. We'll just keep going until I get bored. That's what we'll do. When I can't be bothered anymore, I'll just make an excuse like, oh, I don't need to go any further just yet. We'll just keep going for now. I've never got this far before. I feel like I've reached a new level. Boss level. It's just going to be a 20-minute vlog of me wrapping string around a blooming bamboo cane. That would have been even better if I did it with twine. But I just used string, so I'm going to have to redo the whole thing again. But I just wanted to show you what it looked like today, and I didn't have any twine. So, it looks cool though. I mean, that is really good. I wish it was taller. I wish it was a little bit taller, a little bit shorter, a little bit up in the air, but it's not. It is what it is, and that's how big it is. Now I have dug them into the ground to keep them even more secure. Looks good, you know. In fact, I'll get a thumbnail of that'd be my thumbnail. I mean, it looks so good that most likely this is the reason that you clicked on the video, because this is going to be my thumbnail. So, like this. And that's the reason you clicked on the video, so it must look good, right? Depending on how many of you clicked. Right, I'm absolutely freezing, guys, and there's nothing else much to do here today. I didn't know it would be freezing fog again today. The weather's really taken another turn, and I've definitely woken up on the wrong side of the bed, but being out in nature has definitely made me feel better today. So this is just a small, short little vlog. I hope you enjoyed it. God, it looks really good, doesn't it? Surprise myself sometimes with my building skills. I hope you enjoyed the vlog today. If you did, do subscribe. I'll be back again on Friday. Fingers crossed there's some warmer weather coming soon and we can all get out and actually do some proper gardening. Here's hoping. See you later.